mRNA injections. I'm tired of listening to people talk about stuff that I lived like they know what they're talking about. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Not crazy. That's the wrong word. I gotta be careful about the words I use. Crazy to me are people that do violent things, cause harm for their pure enjoyment. To me, that is woohoo, certifiably nut jobs. I'm related to long lines of crazy people. I don't want to hurt people because I've seen people like to hurt people. I want to be like them, so I don't put myself in situations and places where people can be put in harm's way after learning, after being in situations where I've been a part of people being put in harm's way. So because I'm sorry, I tell the truth. Because I've lied, I tell the truth. Because I'm sorry, I live the truth. Because generationally people have been doing foul things and it needs to stop. And it's just, I've been kind of tripping out because, like, my world ain't changing much. I always seen the world how it is. Mom never let me hide. She never let me create like a world of fantasy where everything was okay when everything wasn't. See, she didn't want me to ever be disconnected because when you get disconnected from reality, then your reality can be swayed by external whatever. Like if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything kind of stuff. And all this stuff about Epstein. I never heard the man's voice until recently. He's been on my radar since like '06 when I was in the military still. And, because I'm a woman. And I was born to a woman. And if you're small, and if you're pretty, and if you don't have a lot of muscles, and if you're nice, that there's a lot of people out there that are going to do terrible things because they want to take the goodness from you. It's just about taking the goodness and leaving trash heaps, people that don't care about themselves, so they're not going to care about you. You leave soul sacks, just leftover people that they're just left to drink every day because they think about the same things that make them sad over and over and over and over. And so when I was 13, that verified my account of what happened to me when I was a little baby. And when you go to McDonald's and they say if you're, if something bad happens, they want to make you feel better. This is a kind of a twisted story. I Scorpio moon, so here we go. So if you're sad, you make feel better. We'll go to McDonald's, get an ice cream or French fries or something, make you feel better. Well, when terrible things happen to you when you're a little baby, you get little trinkets too. I remember I still had the trinkets for a real long time about after. And then when I was 12, I read the account about what happened to me when I was a 10-month-old baby, and I was like, how could somebody do that to a baby? And then it occurred to me, I was like, holy heck, that's me. This is about me. Like, it took me, I wasn't in the world of acceptance at first. And I was like, that's why my hip pops when Miss Menifee, the PE teacher at CVI, makes us do those bicycle exercises. Like you're riding a bicycle on your back. I can't do that because it hurts. Because my pelvis hurts. Because my hip goes pop, pop, pop like I got a flat tire. And this is it's a constant reminder. I walk on the side of my feet, the gate on the side of my feet. So I never lived on a world where Epstein's didn't exist. Like, I grew up, that's your norm, and then you go to school, and then you share this stuff with other people in your class, and it's like, you gotta move again. You gotta move again. The number of times I moved, when I was in 6th grade, 12 years old, I didn't go to school for 7 weeks and went to 4 different schools. I started out in Redding, California, went to Sunnyside we broke down in Visalia, didn't go to school for 7 weeks. Then we ended up in Los Osos. I went to Sunnyside. Then we went over to Paso Robles. I went to Flamson, and then I ended up in Deer Creek Elementary up in Project City, Shasta Lake. That they changed the name. These towns are it's Central Valley. It's now at Shasta Lake City, but it's always Central Valley. So I say Central Valley, and people don't know what I'm talking about because on maps these places don't exist anymore. So I guess I don't exist because I'm placed in places that don't exist. And so I've always been surrounded. I mean, mom told me one time I was being ornery, I was being naughty, I wasn't paying attention, and she was really trying to get me to focus and pay attention to what she was saying, and I was mad about like leaving or like go. I want to go see my grandma and stuff, and she just shook me and grabbed me and did one of these things and said, "Listen, if we did not leave those people, they were going to take you to Montana and they were going to hunt you in the woods." I was like, what? What? Like, what? No, my grandma. And then, like, all these years later, I found out she's one of them Eastern Star women. And I was the scapegoat. So, like, I could be sacrificed dead or alive. It didn't matter. They just, they want they want the truth to go with me. And that's fine. It'll go with me. I'm just gonna say it out loud first, because my father's side is all Freemasons. I mean, all this stuff adds up. I've been playing chess since I was 2-3 years old. I just live from my heart and maintain my connection to my heart, the place, the source. That's how I describe it. I was just listening to Robert Phoenix talk about Epstein, and he's playing these excerpts of his interview, and he's talking about dark matter, and I'm like, okay. And then I hear Robert Phoenix's perception. I'm like, dark matter, black is it's the sum of all parts. See, I look at colors as like indicators of emotion and ideas and thoughts, and they sit in different parts of the rainbow, like based on vibrational frequency. This is all harmonics. This is all stuff different people talk about. I'm not the only one. Santos Bonacci, like all these people, I just say it different. And I look at it as black as being the sum of all parts, is all the colors, all the connections. Like when you close your eyes and you look at the sun when it rises or goes down, when you sun gaze, and you see that information highway, it looks like a rainbow. And then when you look at the raven that's black, but you see the rainbow on the raven, and then you look at your skin, I look at my skin, I see everywhere rainbows everywhere, because it's all black, it's all dark matter, it's all information, it's all information in the intangibles, the no place space. I might talk funny. I grew up reading books like The Phantom Toll Booth, stuff like that. I like the word whimsy because I don't like the usual program. So I'll hear what other people say, and I'll say, okay, but to me it sounds like blibbity blobbly blah 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 blue. And then I had teachers that they teach me things like how to yodel, yodel-a hee hoo. So I know how to yodel. And then I didn't talk right when I was a little kid, so I had to sit on a little blue bus, and they taught me how to speak proper and correct and enunciate. It's basically I had acting class by the district. Because they wanted me to fit in this little box, and I don't fit in boxes. I don't have any earth to keep me in the box. I'm all air, water, and fire, a little bit of fire. So I'm steamy. I'm a little like a firecracker. I pop off and then I lose all my juice. I gotta open. Did you get yourself out a little bit? Yeah, honey bear? Love you the most, honey. She says, because on the last one, ooh, daily horoscope. A strong feeling to fight injustice or the right. What is it? A strong feeling to fight injustice or right the wrongs is present. You might feel frustrated that this feeling is not shared by the greater public. Volunteering or doing charity work can channel this energy. I'm doing charity work. I just blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I don't think Homeboy is dead. I don't think Homeboy is dead, and I don't know if the general public knows this. I kind of want to take Mom, pack her up, take a drive down to Zorro Ranch, knock on the door and say, hey, what's going on in there? You in there, J.E.? You in there? You in there? See, because I'm one of those. See, one thing that people don't talk about him is his genetic modifications, and that how he wants to make the master race. See, like, and I come from that lineage of men that think they're superior, and that they hate women, and they create systems and agencies that give them things to do while the men are men and over here are doing the important things, which is butt stuff to them. And so, homeboy, and they did that to me. I was a recipient of things made in a lab put into a little baby to see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. How's that? And so I always thought I was like one of those like I always felt like a dude. Like I always hung out with dudes. You know, I'm one of them. I just and I didn't want to have surgery. That was like I had boundaries. Like no, that's weird. I don't want to be a man. I just have a lot of masculine energy. It's represented in my astrological chart. I'm born on the 9th of April. If you look at other people that are born on the 9th of April, you can see that they didn't continue a life living from their spirit, from their heart. That most people born on the day I was born, the 99th day of the year, went the way of the ego, living 3D life for the tangibles and weird sensation chasing. All those rituals and stuff like that. Ick. Ugh. It's all gross. I don't even like football. Look at all the fools gathering to watch that unuseful idiocracy. So what do? They break people's brains. They make people yearn for a life that exists on a different timeline, but it ain't for you. Could you like? Cause I thought about that. Like if they wouldn't have messed with me, and if I was actually born as God intended, genetically male, I mostly see female to male inverteds. Like on I don't. But they're all over. They're in Hollywood. They're everywhere. I don't even know if they know that they're one. And sometimes they mess up and then they make a Jamie Lee Curtis. Because it's all mad science. If you got the blood in you, your character is going to be created for you by design in the stars. And I went against the script. People that are born on my birthday, want to know someone was born on my birthday? That same day, same year as Jenna Jameson. I should be, by definition, more like Jenna Jameson. I should be a tattooed face having, kid pumping, breeding, because love is physical, and all that weird ideology, Our paths have crossed. I wonder if I ever brought her chips and salsa. I'm sure she ate at Chevy's at some point in Reading, back when I worked there, because her dad was a sheriff and her uncle, and they used to go all over the place. Because pretty girl, you gotta show off the pretty girl in your family. Well, I look at her now, man. I had movies of her. This one, she was an angel, and she went and slept with these other girls, and it was all so innocent and pillow fighty and all this stuff like that. And then I came into the knowing that I can't think about other people in intimate ways. Because every woman is their own wife to the masculine in themselves. They're their own wife. And so if I'm gonna shit on them and be like, treat them like a piece of meat, then I'm shitting on the feminine in me. And that's how I kind of look at the world. And I'm an INFJ too, so I'm judgmental. And I don't even think of it in terms of seeing in judgment. Is just I see people's behavior, and I see how if they continue this behavior, like there's only certain ways that their lives are gonna end up. There's only and it don't end up good. It usually ends up somebody that loves you ends up crying, and then they're gonna miss you forever. Because it's the way the ego, and ego don't lead people to spirit unless they use their free will for discipline and not go around and do all the things that they want to do to keep themselves distracted from the people in their local communities that just, God, man, there's so many people that just need things. They need someone to listen to them. They need someone like parents, caregivers at their wits end, And then you just see all these agencies exist that get their direct deposit, And my mom couldn't even get food stamps in Taos, and she was thrown away from Cuesta by Cecilia Cisneros, and we ended up back where she was adopted from. I can't even make this stuff up. We moved here from Salem, and when we left Salem, it was for Flagstaff, Arizona, and Taos wasn't in our radar. And how it turned out when we came back to where Mom was born. Just so I could teach people in the community that you need to make systems to support the baby with deficits. And not throw the baby away in orphanages, because that's how it all started. Because terrible stuff happened to Mom. And that's how she grabbed me. She said, don't do this, because if you do this, that could happen. The things that she did to keep me safe. And then my brother wanted me to put her in a home. That's like icky. That's gross. That's sadistic to me. That is like, because she came, to be born to a family that's thrown away to an orphanage where terrible things happen to her, and then have your family just put you in an institution at the end. Like, institutions, no, family, whatever the family looks like, There's so many people that just, I can't navigate through the system anymore. Like, the idea of me going into a police station or something at this point is because they just make it. I'll say the right thing, and you'll still say you said the wrong thing. You're under arrest. We don't like your kind. That's what America has been deduced to. A whole bunch of you're outs, we're in, and what they do ain't good. Lesser of the evil is still evil. I quit voting. I quit doing I stopped. They're all reindeer games. Washington, D.C. or Hollywood both exist to get people to believe in a reality that doesn't exist. So that we can buy our little flags and wave them at parades. So we can have parades and say, look how great America is. America ain't great no more. I'm sorry for my service. I really am. Because people died, and young men in America did terrible, gross things to women and children. And then they come back and they act like they didn't do nothing wrong. And then they go back and they join their police forces in their local communities. And they're the ones that are upholding the law. And it's women too. It's not just men. It's the woman. Because look at that Maxwell. It's the woman. Like, I could have been like them. I listened to Epstein, and I've had conversations with people like minds like that. Because I have a mind like that. And except I ain't the perv. See, I didn't become the animal in which made me. I'm killing the beast which perpetuates the hate behavior in society that allows people to give them permission to do creepy, gross, shitty, nasty butt stuff in the name of their gods. Because my God is bigger than their God, and my God says good, orderly direction. There's no place for drinking and debauchery and carrying on and butt stuff. So, for the exit-only system, members of society, here's to the downfall of all the men and their G-spots in their butts. Because that's what they've reduced the society to, telling us they're doing big, important man things out there to take care of all of us. And what are they doing? Nasty, gross stuff in the closets. They're not even in the closets anymore. What did I call today's talk? What you doing, Luna? Are you stuck? What, you in a mood? Are you in a mood, my girl? Do you want to go outside? Am I supposed to be letting you outside walk around in the mood? She's so pretty. She's getting older every day in the mood. What did I call today's talk? And then I'm going to get going. She's the best girl in the world to me. So yeah, the only way the world is changing for me is that the rest of the world is starting to see it how I always have. That's how. What's it called? Falling off a high horse. Okay. That's right. So this year, I have been coining the year that people are going to fall off their high horse. And they're going to look right at people in the eye as they're falling down from their grace of nepotism, secrets, and grossness. Last year was the year of the snake, because I think about this stuff in terms of animals, like what animals do, like, yeah, they're always shedding their skin, you know, they're evolving, they're constantly growing, they creep me out. But I dated a girl who's a belly dancer, she danced with, like, it's the light and the shadow of everything. I take the good and I leave the rest, right? So they are what they are, and they when I see them, I try to avoid them, and I'll try to relocate them to where they can be safe out of me. I'll channel my inner crocodile hunter, pick them up by the tail, and fling them as far as I possibly can. I've seen nests and all that, and it's just all bleh. Like, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the idea that, bleh, you know, fear factor, all that stuff, it's just all icky feelings that I try to stay away from. And so that's kind of what how last year left me feeling, like how I feel about snakes. 2 of my dogs died in 2 months. Like more figuring out that people aren't my friends, and I let it happen, and you know, more just learning life lessons and blah. Bullshit, just more bullshit. And then I think about how, like, a snake is going into the corral of a horse, right? That's how I look at the evolution from year of the snake to the year of horse. And snakes are over here chilling. I dig horses. They scare me. I respect them. They respect the danger. But when I was a little girl, like 3, I remember Grandpa'd take us to the ride to the post office. I'd want to go out, and sometimes there'd be people out, and he'd stop and talk to them. And there are these kids, they were talking about what happened to this woman in Santa Margarita, just south of Atascadero, and she was brushing her horse, and the horse turned around and bit her in the neck, killed her. And then it was like later I thought about that, and I was like, I wonder how awful she treated that horse in order for that horse to do that. Because animals just don't do things. Animals have spirits, they have souls, you know, and they turn too. They're like buckets of energy, and once you reach so much, you can't take it no more, and you got to either pour the bucket out, or it's gonna reach its weight capacity and start cracking at the seams or whatever. There's bad things are gonna happen when people don't let bad feelings out. And so now I look at this year as the year of the high horse, that the snake's coming in. And then you have all these people of importance that have, you know, when I was young, I had a horse. You know, horses is like to me, it's like a sign of status, you know, and all these people have all these horses. And I didn't have nothing growing up, but they have all these horses. It's just like, you know, like it was like an imbalance kind of thing. And so now we're coming in all these people that have been in positions of power up on their high horse. Snake's going to come in. Horse is going to look down at snake and be like, what? No, we don't like you. We're done with you. Rear up. Here come down off the people off the high horses now. Look at all the people that are going to come down off their high horses in society. Society is going to completely change. For the first time in my life, I have been consecutively happy for many, many days, like over a week. There have been days in the last, since I started this video 9 years ago in March, that I just do them and you can see I'm just hanging on. Like, I'm just talking because I'm disassociated and I'm trying to stay on this planet. But now I'm finally at a place that me and mom are comfortable. And the only days that we're gonna have to worry about me, mom, Luna, and Stan Lee is, we don't gotta worry about it. We don't gotta worry no more. All the bad things happen. All the bad things happen. And I didn't turn into a monster. So if I can keep from turning into a monster, you want to sit there, baby girl? Good girl. Good girl. Come on. There are honey bears in the bits. Then other people can keep themselves from doing monstrous things too, because I had a lot more incentive to turn. I still got a pretty smile. That's like my thing in life is like, if I can just keep smiling and not have all of my teeth rot out of my head, then I must be doing something right. So all the naysayers, all the people say, she's crazy. Oh yeah? It's crazy when people aren't fit or people don't try to work harder to participate in their own lives. Like, I think that's crazy. Like, that people want people to be starving in the woods, because in New Mexico, there's plenty for everybody. The only reason why people don't get it is because they're not good at allocating. Because people that are in charge, they've never had to go without anything. So they've never had to use the welfare system. So, like, we need to let the people that live on the streets show the people that disperse the money. Like, what, like it's obviously a drug and alcohol thing. I know plenty about that. I'm a drunk for years. I don't drink booze no more because I want to connect to spirit source, the things that tell me to do the right things and not to tell me things that say, oh yay, parties, drunks, carrying on. All that stuff I don't care about. That stuff doesn't do anybody an advantage. That stuff gets people blackmailed, see? So I don't have to think like everybody else on the world, because I think like I think, and then I go to the grocery store and I talk about out loud how I think, and then people at the grocery, or I go to the post office. This was a trip. I go to the post office yesterday and I have one yellow tag in my mailbox. And so I go there, and then this lady in front of me, I have never seen a stack like this at the post office. And I said, wow, that's ambitious. And she's like, I'm into crafts. My husband hates me. And I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot. And then I start thinking, man, it's getting late. I'm just at the post office. It would be really dope if just this woman said, hey, you just have one. I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead. She didn't. I was just like, because I get fired up, and then she started getting fired up. People don't think. I make people not think. When I get excited, they disassociate, because they're like, they don't know what I am. They don't know what's happening. They're out of control, and people are programmed to be able to control everything in their life. And then I show up, and they're like, what's this lady? Like, I act like I'm a freaking 9-year-old child, and like the way I dress, like, because I do everything that I want to do, because my whole life people have controlled me and said, you have to do this and you have to do that. And I'm like, nah, no I don't. And then I want other people to see that they don't have to do and dress and be like everybody else wants them to be either. And you know, as long as you don't hurt nobody. And if you get to act like you want to do, then you're less inclined to stuff all that stuff, that anger that people have, because they're mad because they don't get to live the life that they want, because they're too busy living in boxes that they've been built by bloodlines of generations of people that don't even Tradition is peer pressure by dead people. Give me a break. I won't do something because it's tradition. Then I'm a hypocrite because then I'll turn around and I'll drink a cup of coffee because it's kind of a ritual. But this is as far as I go. I ain't doing no weird stuff. I ain't gonna put no son of mine up on a cross because I love him and sacrifice him. Or even the ideology of it. I like William Donahue. He's a great teacher. I try to recommend him to people. I try to provide useful information that I think that the people will find it useful based on them and their life experience. And what do I get? Mostly ignored. What do? I keep sharing anyway. Oh well. It's a new day. I wonder if Mom's waking up yet. Are you starting to stir, little old lady? Did you sleep good? Yeah? So nice? So nice? I think I'm gonna buy a pair of Birkenstocks. I used to wear them. I used to have a pair when I was like 18, 19. I wore those until the corks basically fell apart. I loved it because I knew a dude that he was into orthotics, and I was always into feet health because Mom was born with 2 club feet, so I always understood the importance of how important it is to take care of your feet, because if you don't take care of your feet, you can't take care of yourself. There's always people, I don't know, the world is just such a lame place. It's a bad program. It is, but all this old stuff is dying away because they can't sustain it. They don't have the manpower. Dude, you can't say America. When I was in the military, like, we fit the part. That was 2000. That was like the last time they fit the part. They put me on the weight management program. I didn't deserve to be put on it. I got off it. That was the base I was on. Incidentally, off it. I got off it, and then, like, because I was like, I'll show you guys. I'll just, I'll become compliant, and so I can finish doing what I want to do, get my college degree, and then be done with the biggest farce in the world. Because you people are liars. You talk about how you're so great, and you're not great. And you do, you skid out of work all the time, and there's people always, they're never here, but it's a show. It's a show. Then they act like they do stuff. They barely, they stay on the maintenance schedule so they don't get in trouble. And then sometimes people win awards and get little buttons and stuff. And if you go along with the program, then you can pretty much get orders to wherever you want, whenever you want, become whatever you want. And if you're a dirtbag and they don't want you in, they'll make it uncomfortable until you get out. And that's what the military is. It's another club. You want to go outside? That's what I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Let's go outside, Honey Bear.